Hi everyone, so we're going to review for our CFU today, or cool down, sorry. We're going to start off with what is a function. So if we recall, a function is a relationship between two quantities where each input must have only one output. So in a function, each input has only one output, so 1 to 1. So for example, when something goes in, there's a rule and only one thing comes out. Now, what is function notation? Because today's lesson is about function notation. So function notation is a precise way of writing the outputs of a function. If the function is, for example, named f and x is an input, then f of x represents the corresponding output. So that's what you get for the input. So there are different representations of functions, and we're going to use those representations to write in function notation. So function notation from a set of ordered pairs. So for example, if you have a set of ordered pairs as seen here, in the ordered pairs shown, the red numbers are the input values and the purple numbers are the output values. Now, if I take the ordered pair 3, 4 as seen here, and I want to write it in function notation, my 3 is my input value, so that's what goes in my function, and the 4 is the output value, that's what goes out. Also, this may be something you are recalling, but these are coordinate pairs, points, where your first is your x coordinate and your second value is your y coordinate. We can also write function notation from a table. So for example, we have the table of values here where our first set of values on the left are our x values or x coordinates, and the ones on the right, we call them our y values or y coordinate. Now in the table of values shown, the x values are the input values that would go in the function, and the y values are the output values, so that's what we get out. In this particular function, the pair of coordinates -5, 2 and 4, 3 would be written as f of -5 is equal to -2 and f of 4 is equal to 3, and that's how that would be written in function notation. Now we can also write function notation from a graph. So say for example, we have the following graph. We notice there are points on it. Each point has a pair of coordinates. So on the graph, the pair of coordinates -2, 3 and 0, 1 can be written using function notation. How would we write that? -2, 3 would be f of -2 is equal to 3, and 0, 1 would be f of 0 is equal to 1. And that's how we would write that in function notation. So let's go back to the question that you had in the cool down. You had this graph, and now we're gonna put to work everything that we have learned. So given the graph f of x, so this graph represents a function, it's called f of x. We are to determine the value of x for which f of x is equal to -2. What this is really saying is that the y value or the output value of the function is -2. Therefore, we're asked to find the input value. So where on the function is -2? -2 for the output is going to be on the y-axis. That's going to be here. So we're going to line it up and see where it lines up and corresponds to what is the x value it corresponds to on the function, on the graph itself, and that is going to be 2. So what we're learning is that when the output is -2, the input is 2. So output y is negative 2. The input value on the x is positive 2. Hope this was helpful.